Good morning, everyone. Today we shall discuss philosophy of language. Okay. First, we shall discuss about introduction. Philosophy of language may investigate the relations between language users, and the world. The scope of philosophy of language may include inquiry into the origins of language, the nature of meaning, the uses and cognition of language. Okay. Now we shall discuss what does philosophy of language explore. In broader sense, it can be said that philosophy of language explores the relationship between language and reality. It includes major topics such as the nature of meaning, intentionality, reference, the constitution of sentences, concepts, learning, and thoughts. Language is the central component of human existence. Philosophy of language refers to an area of philosophy concerned with the syntactic properties as well as the meaning and reference of linguistic expressions. The things applied or indicated by linguistic expressions as a function of linguistic and conversational context. Now, we shall discuss philosophy of language deals with the philosophical problems regarding language and its use. At the core of the philosophical inquiry into language are following, that is the nature of language, the relationship between language users and reality involved, the nature of meaning, the problem of translation, intentionality, reference, constitution of sentences. Okay. Now we shall discuss philosophy of language provides the solution of following problems. For example, it asks questions like what is meaning? How does language refer to the real world? Is language learned or is it innate? How does the meaning of a sentence emerge out of its parts? Means all these uh, question shall be discussed in the philosophy of language. Okay. But the most fundamental question of philosophy of language, that is what is language? Okay. One of the most fundamental questions that is asked in philosophy of language is what is language? And according to semiotics, language is the mere manipulation and use of symbols in order to draw. Linguistics is the field of study that asks questions like what distinguishes one particular language from another. For example, what is it that makes English English? What is the difference between Spanish and English? Noam Chomsky emphasized the role of grammar and syntax as characteristics of language. Chomsky believes that humans are born with an innate understanding of what he called universal grammar, and the exposure of child is merely a triggers of this antecedent knowledge. Okay, now we are going to discuss uh, Noam Chomsky views. According to Chomsky, people's internal language, which are based upon certain rules which generate grammars, supported in part by the convictions that there is no clear, general, and principal difference between one language and the next. Now, we shall discuss translation and interpretations. Translation and interpretation present other problems to the philosophers of language. It is argued that indeterminacy of meaning and reference based on the principle of radical translation. As we know that language is restricted, it is limited, and references are indeterminate. There are many possible interpretations, no one of which is more correct than others. This is called semantic holism. Holism holds that meaning is not something that is associated with a single word or sentence, but it is also associated with individuals' assertions as well as his mental states and attitudes. Okay? Now we shall discuss the nature of meaning. Meaning can be described as the content carried by words or signs exchanged by people when communicating through language. As we know that two types of linguistic meaning, that is conceptual meaning, and the second one is associative meaning. Conceptual meaning, it refers to the definition of words, and associative meaning, it refers to the individual mental understanding of the speaker. Okay. Now we shall discuss different approaches regarding linguistic meaning, that is idea theories. It claimed that meanings are purely mental contents provoked by science, and according to truth conditional theories, it claims that meaning is conditional under which an expression may be true or false. Okay, and the third one is use theories. According to this theory, meaning is based on speech acts and particular utterances, not the expressions themselves. And the next theory is reference theories. Okay, that is also known as semantic externalism. According to this theory, meaning is equivalent to those things in the world that are actually connected to sign. And the next theory, it is verification theories. It associates the meaning of a sentence with its method of verification or falsification. Okay. Now we shall discuss intentionality. Another important concept in the philosophy of language is that of intentionality, sometimes defined as aboutness, something or about other things. It is based on mental states. Our beliefs, fear, hopes, desires are intentional. Okay. Now we shall discuss about reference, how language interacts with the world, what philosophers call reference. John Stuart Mill believed in a type of direct reference theory. It consists two components: denotation and the next is connotation. Denotation, the literal meaning of word. For example, she was blue. Here blue is color blue. Your dog, domesticated animal with fur and a snout. Okay. Next example, I wandered lonely as a cloud by Wordsworth. Okay. Connotation, it includes shades of meaning. Emotional coloration is attached with the word or term. For example, she was blue. It means the meaning of blue is feeling sad. This is the connotative meaning of the word blue. But in the first example, blue indicates about color. Okay, this is the difference in denotative meaning and connotative meaning. Now we shall discuss about sentence composition. Okay, philosophical constitution of sentence focuses on the principle of compositionality in order to explain the relationship between meaningful parts and whole sentences. The principle asserts that a sentence can be understood on the basis of the meaning of the parts of the sentences, words, morphemes, along with an understanding of its structure, syntax, or logic. Therefore, the meaning of a complex expression is determined by the meanings of its constituent expressions and the rules to combine them. Okay. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.